So right now, if you are putting out a statement talking about how your heart goes out to the hostages in Israel, but you are not saying that your heart goes out to the people, the civilians, the children of Gaza, if you are condemning Hamas, but you are not simultaneously condemning the Israeli government and the U.S.'s unconditional support for the Israeli government as they are bombing civilians in Gaza, as they have cut off food and electricity to a city that is over 50% children because of the extremely low life expectancy rate there, because people there are suffering under the worst form of apartheid in the world's largest open-air prison and constantly are experiencing violence at the hands of the Israeli army. If you didn't give a shit what was happening in Palestine up until 2 days ago, that is because you see Israelis as people and you do not see Palestinians as people. And if you live in the U.S. and that's you, it's understandable if you haven't been paying attention, because the Western media is extremely white supremacist. And that is how racism works. Israelis get to be white, Palestinians are non-white, and they are therefore not people. You see this difference in humanization when you look at the very rhetoric that media uses to describe the difference between Israelis being killed and Palestinians dying. In the obfuscation of Israeli military aggression and settler aggression by calling such things clashes. And maintaining the dehumanization of Palestinians is so important to the project of white supremacist imperialism in Palestine that it is extremely threatening to do anything to humanize Palestinians. Which is why my suggestion yesterday, which I always make whenever there's violence in occupied Palestine, that people read a book, any book by a Palestinian author. That is so threatening to people. People take that as anti-Semitic, the suggestion that you read a book by a Palestinian. Because if you read a book by a Palestinian, it is going to humanize Palestinians for you, and it will change the way you see this conflict forever. A few years ago on YouTube, I created the Read for Palestine challenge. And apparently that was so threatening that it got me put on an Israeli block list, and this notorious website, which I won't name, but which keeps tabs of, people they say are notorious anti-Semites. And I, an outspoken Jewish author, am, according to them, a horrible anti-Semite because I encourage people to read Palestinian literature. So before you fix your mouth to say anything about what is going on in Israel and Palestine right now, ask yourself, have you sought out Palestinian voices to listen to? Have you ever read a book by a Palestinian author? If you need suggestions, check out my last video.